All right, good night, good morning, and good evening, lovely people. This is your host, Xavier the Doctor, with me, Rajiv Khan, greatest prop to ever live. Shh, don't tell nobody,
No,
don't tell
no, no,
nobody.
no. I wouldn't go that
welcome
far.
to welcome to another episode of Roga's Corner. Um, so I have Mr. Daniel Graham, Mr. Lowndes, and Mr. Dario, but things happen in life. But we're going to still keep it pushing. Another exciting week of NCC results are in. It's fair to say, Rajiv, that a lot of people seem to be reflecting on our posts, and some people are not liking it very much. Won't call any names. These people know who they are, but it seems our comments are getting under a few skins lately. So we want to talk about that, review the matches, and generally just speak on how the season has progressed, seeing as I believe this is the end of round one for everybody, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the second round will be starting January 26th. Yep, sorry about Jan. July 26th. I'm gonna get January from. We're not gonna 2000 2026 already.
26.
Yeah,
Yeah.
July 26th. All six teams will be facing off at
All right.
JDF.
Naturally, everyone, you can expect Ruggers Corner to be putting out our posts. Continue showing those likes, sharing it. We see our Union fans. Yeah, we see you guys. We see you guys. Shout out Veronica Blair. Pick up
Yes.
ourselves.
On that topic, Doc, the Jamaica United team is in Mexico at the moment.
Mhm.
I think their first match is on July 9th against USA, and they will be facing off against Mexico as well in the run 2025 15th competition. So that's our next set of match we can look out for. Support the gents. The match will be streaming on I think it's Rand will be streaming the games on Rugby Pass, so anybody want to watch can go there. I think it's free. So yeah,
And for those of you who don't like to look for things, yes, we will drop a link or check on the run site and drop a link on our socials just in case anybody is too lazy to look for it. Yes, we got you guys. We got you guys. Um, so 5 rounds in, it's been a topsy turvy season so far. But I won't lie, I'm a bit conflicted because for one, I've been singing the praises of a certain winger who plays for St. Catherine Thundercats. And he hasn't quite reached the heights that I set for him. And I'm noticing that all the other wingers, specifically the outside backs, aren't reaching these heights. The heights I'm speaking about is one percenters. For those of you who don't know what one percenters is, it's basically doing the basics in defense. You set the line, you're counting off from tackle one to tackle five, and you
kick
drop back,
chases.
all of that. Cool. And to be frank with you people, and for all the coaches who will listen to this podcast, it has been a absolute horrid, horrendous to watch these winners, which is saying something given the quality that we know that these winners possess. And we look no further than the recently concluded JDF versus Sharks match, which I predicted JDF to win, and that got under a lot of people's skin. But we will talk about that. Um, so the winners for Sharks during that match, it was interchange, but we had Weston Williams, I believe, with O'Neill Williams and Akel Johnson and Shamari Williams. Sharks is bringing two outside backs these days on their bench, so they interchange them from time to time. But JDF, not sure who the other winger was, but I know Cesare Thompson was playing a fullback slash winger hybrid role along with Courtney Dennis, who was interchanging with him.
Yep.
If I told you how many times the ball bounced about 6 to 5 times before these wingers caught the ball and finally decided to run at the defense, I would say it happened almost every single tackle five kick that was given. There's no urgency to attack the ball. There's no urgency to get back and run straight at the defensive line. And the only reason, from what I saw, that Cesare and Courtney Dennis were able to cause as much problems as they did was the simple fact that they're fast enough to make these mistakes. But I guarantee you, if this was an international match against probably say England Lionhearts or one of them USA or Canada teams, I guarantee you that would have resulted in a 6 tackle reset. Then probably drag him out the door.
Exactly. But as I said it to you, I said it to you when I was watching the Sharks and JDF games. The wingers are not getting back when on fifth and last tackles. Penalty kicks, they're not getting back. I, I, the breeze at JDF was really strong. You can kick and the breeze kick the ball in or you miss kick and yeah, you get back the ball now. But the wingers weren't getting back. The wingers weren't getting back at all. And I don't understand why. These are
That,
simple things that you learn in training. You count the tackles, fifth and last, you get back to help your full back. Yeah, but they weren't doing it. Both teams weren't doing it.
but the thing for me, all right, even though I know this might sound a bit biased coming from me, the Sharks winners are young. Probably none of them, I don't think, with the exception of Akel,
Yes,
is
I
over the
understand that. But
is over
Akel
the
wasn't
age of
doing it
20.
either. Akel has
No,
been playing
Akel
rugby
has
for a
no.
while, and he still wasn't doing it.
Akel has no excuse. But my thing is, remember back in 2019, the awards actually, when Davian Buckle Bryan, right? He
Hmm.
got the reins as a fullback for Sharks. And what did we see Roy Calvert implement? He had his centers with Kenneth, with that was six,
R6,
Fang,
yeah.
whoever. They were dropping back and assisting the fullback. The whole time in the match, yes, Alex he's quick, he's strong, and I give him credit. A lot of young fullbacks wouldn't run straight to any of those JDF forwards
That's
and
true.
run as hard as he did. But you could see that he was struggling. He was struggling just to get back, and there was no assistance from the experienced centers in Kenneth and Six. And you're watching it, you're like, why aren't they helping him? But yet still, as soon as the ball is knocked down, as soon as something goes wrong, who are the first ones to start for curse? Who are the first ones to find an issue?
And for this game, I'm highly disappointed in Kenneth. Really disappointed. There was one point in the game where Marvin started playing nine. All right, they gained at least 20 to 25 yards, and Kenneth took the ball as an experienced player and winger. Took the ball and run right across the field and got pushed back at least 5 or 6 yards. That doesn't make any sense
More
to me.
far more back than that, I think it was almost 30 meters because they pushed him back out from the red zone straight back to close to the quarter line there. That's
It
how far
doesn't
he got pushed back.
exactly, so it doesn't make any sense to me. These are simple things that I know the coaches go through, right? Simple things. So why not implement these things on the field?
Um, what uh, what I can implement it as for the young wingers at least, nervousness, unsure of how to play their role, and that can be fixed. I'm not going to sit here and be do mango man chastise these young men because really and truly nobody will have a perfect game every day. But for the experience outside box at Akel, Six and Kenneth, there is no way a team that is hardly capable of kicking the ball past the half line, that your back three is not giving you more than 20 yards. It's
Exactly.
unacceptable.
I
And the
do.
and these,
Uh, yeah, go ahead.
no, I'm saying these are the same men who in POR is going to do what we are saying about now. And then when it comes to the international matches, you're going to see the same behavior creeping in. So what is right in saying that these are the little things that we need to work on, that we need to improve and get out of the game because it's
Yep.
ridiculous.
Yep. But you said it today, and I am going to repeat it. I do have to give Shanto his praises because based on the two games I watched for Sharks, he has been the most consistent with
True.
bringing up the line, chasing the balls, and gaining yards and making tackles. Apart from
True.
Virgo, everybody know that Virgo does Virgo every match, but Shanta has been the most consistent in all those era.
And another thing, which probably maybe it's just a personal preference for me, but I believe Sharks needs to start, as we spoke about earlier, Raj. I believe Sharks needs to either start building someone to play nine or they source a nine from another club. Because no knock against Virgo, but it is a waste of his current talents to have him as nine. And whether Marvin wants to agree with this or not, your team, you cannot be as the seven trying to play sideways rugby for almost an entire half. And you're forced to go to nine. And that's when the attack starts to gel properly. Because we all said that once Murray was not there was going to be some issues because on the bench there was no one there that was going to take over as the nine and get 80 minutes tackle out your life and straighten the attack. Look at the 5 minute period that I mentioned. In 5 minutes, Sharks scored three tries right through the middle.
Yep.
Kenneth, Bird, and well, Jano scored from off of the scrum, but that was all off of straightening the attack.
As a,
Coach Coach Rome always used to say this. Coach Rome used to always say you have to earn the right to shift the ball. And Sharks never earned the right. Even
nope.
when they were going through the middle, they never earned the right because many
And
of their
when they
carries
do shift the
are
ball, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't perfect. And I said it here. Marvin is the best nine in the country at the moment. And me got dead panda ille. Nobody can tell me otherwise. Marvin are the best nine in the country. And I don't know why him choose for play seven. The man good for nine. The man good at controlling the game. Him good at reading the game. Him perfect at nine. So I mean, I see
sir,
what's the obsession with 7 and 6? Why him want play
sir,
so much?
I explained this to you, and you more than anyone else should know why. Remember that 2022 season we played? Remember the amount of stress we were under playing as nine? That is what Marvin is
Yes,
trying to avoid.
yes, but let's be honest. Me I not good with playing nine. That's not our natural position, right? So we are under stress. Marvin is a total different situation. The man is like the man built for playing nine, but him just don't want to play. Take out the stress outside, take out everything outside. The man built for play nine, and I just
So,
the facts. Even though yesterday
but
they should get a next player apart from Murray, the only other person let me say would have be where can be coach for be the next best nine in a Jamaica is Romario. My last name from
Mario Hall,
Cats. From Cats. Him.
Hall is a whole different kind of world. We
But
probably will need to dedicate an entire video to the Romario Hall. Um, what's that word I'm looking for here?
but they have someone else playing nine, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. But based on the clippings that I'm seeing, he's doing a pretty good job as well. But Romario Hall, yeah man. Him if him get the right coaching, yeah man, be a player for reckon with man. Trust me.
Yeah. But for the negatives, because we don't want to focus all on the negative. What were the positives for you, Raji, from the JDF and the Sharks match? which resulted in JDF winning by what, 6 points?
Yeah, 6. The positive for this game, I know I've seen that Sharks improved on holding the ball more. I don't see them losing a lot of ball like in the previous game, so that's a plus. Set completion for both teams, that's a plus as well. I don't see a whole lot of knock-ons from either teams. In the previous games, I think Sharks had a few knock-ons, but that's here or there. Um, JDF, their props, their forwards, yeah. Machine. What's his name again? Don't remember my name. Machine, very good, strong carrier, gain a lot of yards for them. Um, what's the winger? The
Shit. Yeah, Mr. Cheshire Thompson.
Yeah,
After the game, kudos to Cheshire because
yep.
JDF has this, I would say, stigma where their wingers are fast and foolish over the years. Cesare
That is so
is
true. That is true.
Cesare is just a breath of fresh air that he wants the ball so much. Like every time the ball is played from the 9, you see him just lurking around, and that is what I want to see. I did mention that I need the halves of JDF and the fullback, which is Cesare. Surprisingly, they need to be pushing up a little bit more. Cesare will be on the far left side now, Rajiv, and the forward gains a lot of yards. Cesare is right there. Offload pop, Cesare is gone. That's what I want to see from him, and he has such a silky touch with his hands. For somebody that small, he's quite strong for his size.
The
Because
the getaway run, the getaway run of the brother make Doc from him catch the ball not for them off, and him beat Akel on the wing. Me I say, yep, him gone. The man, him honestly, him really silky with how him play. Like there's a few things him can fix, but overall, a really good winger. Really, really good winger.
very good winger, and and honestly, I want to say this, but I don't want it to come across as if I'm demanding it. I need to see him at POR. I need to see him at POR. And this isn't
Definitely.
just because of what he's showing now. JDF players don't usually play POR, which is so sad. Look at the amount of talented players that we know from JDF. Nikolai Kennedy, Roland Samurai Gray, Edgar Herbine, Shrek. All of these men, and only what? We can only name two
I
that have
know.
played POR.
I think Kennedy played a PR, you know. I, I think he played, if I remember correctly, I think he played for Reds. I think. Yeah. Kennedy did play one PR, or probably two, but I don't remember seeing him play a PR, if I remember correctly. But you're right. We can count on our hands how much JDF player actually played in POR. But the man them need to come out of PR, go turn out of PR training. That's the only way they might
Se-
get
oh,
selected.
Secretary needs to be at your training and need to get picked. And if I don't see him, best believe yes, JDF Instagram handle, I will be questioning you. Yes, me, Xavier Doctor, I will be questioning you because all right. For me, PR is a spectacle where the best of the best must be on
Best
show.
are the best.
And there's no way a man that can go from 0 to 100 in like 30 seconds is just going to be in the stand celebrating. No, 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 no.
Listen, PR will show you up. It will decide if you are the best of the best as you claim, or if you're just another mediocre rugby player. Yeah? So we need to defend the team so we can see when actual when can actually do it. You get what I say?
Yeah, and another two players I think need to also enter the PR arena. The other winger, Courtney Dennis and Joey and Machine Forbes. Everybody knows Machine, but Machine did something that I never thought was possible. I never thought I would ever live to see the day. Machine passing. Yes, I did not stutter people. Joey and Forbes, of all people, passing. Keep in mind, he has been at JD for like what, about 3 seasons now?
Yeah,
And
but even
he's
that,
he's
from
not
high
even playing
school,
his life.
he never usually pass. From me, I
No, but
watch his brother from high
no, but
school.
hold on, Reggie. He has either played as a winger, prop, second row. This man doesn't play as a center. When he plays center for JDF, he's normally like that last tackle option that you use to try to burst through the line to go score. But I was so shocked. I saw this man go to the defensive line, passing the ball to a winger. I was like, wait. I dialed back the match and I was like, I didn't just see that.
And
I'm
it was
seeing
a
him do it
good pass
multiple
as well.
times. And I was
It's
like,
a good pass.
yo, let me tell you something. Machine might just be one of those freakish talents that doesn't even realize his own potential. You're strong, you're fast. I know that you're at passing to your game. It sounds like a rooster all over again. It was the same thing when Rooster started out. Romy said, my only concern was that he cannot pass. Man's debut international match, man have 2 tries.
Yep.
So if Courtney Dennis and Joey Forbes is listening to this podcast, want to drop it, want to push out for PR training. As a matter of fact, want to for sure this season say you're the best in your positions. Even if you don't play the positions you play for your club, I need to see you guys at PR. That is what I want.
But I don't understand why he's not turning up a senior training though, because he played in the U19 PR more than once.
Dominant.
Yes.
No,
So
nobody could
stop him. I don't understand why I'm don't turn up to PR senior training.
It's probably just motivation, but I personally I need to see my PR training. For Sharks, for me, again, the fool they selected for man of the match, I wasn't there. They selected Janga, the man of the match. Not my pick. Just going to be honest. My 3 points, because this is what I'm going to start be doing. I'm going to be giving, once I have video footage, I'm going to watch the match and give my 3 points, 2 points, and my 1 point at the NRL system for each team who I thought were their top performance. For me, my 3 points went to Adrian, Speedline, and Thomas. This is by far the most effective I've seen Adrian. And I've played with this man from GC days come up to now. Adrian has always been that type of winger where, he's just fast, but he gets the job done. But seeing him as a second row, the starch in his defense, the carries that he made and the try that he scored cemented him as the best player for Sharks on the day for me personally. I don't know if everyone is going to agree with that, but personally, that is just my pick.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you on that another. For me, as I said before, based on consistency, I'll have to go with Shanto for play of the game for Sharks versus JDF. He has been the most consistent player, so he will be my MVP for that game.
Here, he's an honorable mention for me, but I don't think I'm going to change my tune, but agree to disagree here. 2 points I gave to Marvin because the minute he moved from 7 and went to 9, decided, hey, we're going to go through them, not around them. 2 try assists, one going to Kenneth, the other one going to Bread. It's the team gelled and flowed smoothly. And whether or not Coach Bray decides that this is how they go forward when they don't have Murray available, or this is just how the team is going to play. Marvin, once Murray is not there, needs to be at 9. That's all I have to say about that.
That I will agree with you on.
For my 1 point, I didn't I didn't want to give to our fellow host Virgo because I wanted so badly to give it to the young player Malik. I think his last name is Anderson, the young forward, but he just couldn't hold on to the ball. He made too many errors, and I had to give Virgo because Virgo had one error, which was incorrectly called because Murray need glasses because there was no loss of the ball. Don't know what Murray said he saw, and Virgo was clearly upset. But Virgo is just going to say, all right, cool, reset again. Virgo, once he went back into the forwards, he ran straight and hard, put the fear of God in all of the JDF men. Even if it didn't look like it was much, he was a problem. So Virgo would have gotten my 1 point, and that would have concluded. For JDF, I gave 3 to Demar Williams, who, you're going up in age, so he's moved from center, going to the lock forward position. He was unplayable on the day. He kept on finding the offload. I think he got a try assist for Cesare's third try. Good evening, Mr. Doy.
Good evening, guys.
If you're just joining, we're just giving out who we thought the top performance for the JDF team that won against Sharks. Just was giving some kudos to Mr. Demar Williams, who was named man of the match for JDF.
Okay.
2 points, Cheshire Thompson. He scored a hat trick, constant problems, pacey. And 1 point went to Joey Forbes because every time he carried the ball, it took at least 3 to 5 players to bring him down alone. That, nice. I think, would conclude JDF's and Sharks' thrilling 6-point win.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I say for JDF, I agree with everything you said for JDF. That was pretty accurate, to be honest. Really accurate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the other 2 matches, despite our pleas falling into the void, we have asked for these teams to have footage, but they're being selfish, but not pretending like I'm not hurt about that.
Jesus.
This might be a little personal, but I think I'm going to say it anyway. If there's anyone out there who plays rugby league, who is going to make an excuse that, it's just a bunch of high schoolers and that's why a team loses, you should not be a coach. You should not be a coach. You should not have any say. Okay. Honestly, that's a weak mentality. Honestly, because tell me how someone is going to look at me, Rajiv, and tell me Thundercats only ramped up the score because they were playing against 10 Bulls players and the 10 Bulls players were only high schoolers. Okay, and wasn't Portmore, as Dario pointed out like a few days ago, doing the same thing for 3.5 seasons?
Mm-hmm.
So what is this excuse about, they only got beaten because it was high school players? This season has been atrocious. They have been halfless in defense, even before Lindvall's incident.
I have $1 million question, and I've been asking this question to no avail. Why are most of Bulls senior players at Cats? I'm just curious, I know that players can switch teams. It's sports. It happens in every sport. But I just want to know why most of their senior players are at Catherine. Right? It's been baffling to me, really baffling. And I've been asking no answers. So I hope somebody can shed some light on it, just for clarification. You hear me say? So I really want to know though.
To me, even though this might just be my opinion, I believe some form of falling out happened between several of the Bulls players that you see playing for other teams. Because this is the first season that Bulls have actually had to forcibly use so many of their young players in conjunction with the few seniors that are still there.
True.
Um,
True.
and some of the other seniors you're not really seeing because I haven't seen Fortis all season. I haven't seen I know David is I think David is overseas, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And Mesado is no longer in Jamaica. So that would leave Linval, Chevron, and Shamar Stewart as the three cogs from the last grand final team that they had.
Yeah.
Alex Chung is there here and there, but there's no consistency when he's appearing. So it's most of the young kids that you see playing for them. My thing is, however, the majority of St. Catherine Thundercats team is made up of the core of Bulls squad. And then if you really look into it, you see Cavalier at Thundercats as well. So that leads me to believe that there's some form of collaboration between the Sevens Cavalier team and Thundercats. Not sure. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But it's just surprising to me that after two back-to-back grand finals that all of a sudden they've thrown in the towel and everybody has parted their ways. I mean, even Jesus, Demon McDougall, he's at Dragons now.
Yeah,
So,
he's basically a forefather for Bulls.
So that tells
really
me that
weird.
there's been some internal dispute between the coach and these players. Whether they are going to respond and agree with this is up to them, but it's baffling and quite disappointing because when you lose one and two players, that's fine, but to lose almost your core team and have to rebuild from scratch, it's disheartening to watch. Really is.
Really, yep, really rough. Trust me.
But what I want to focus mostly on, is this take that they're high schoolers, so that's why the score was ramped up. I'm like, their defense has been crap the whole season. I mean, are we going to use the same excuse for hyenas? Hyenas who are self-destructing almost every match. I don't even have to be at the games to know what is happening for hyenas. I see it. I hear it. They self-destruct every match. Right about now, Roach is supposed to have a question.
That's typical hyenas, trust me. That's typical hyenas.
Rajiv, but I tell no lie. Roach baptized and I see the man willing to crash out on the weekend still, no, bro. Yeah.
Hey, listen, hyenas. You have to strong for deal with hyenas players, trust me, because some of the man them is like once the call don't go for them way, the world are end. The world literally are end for them. And I never understand it. If the referees say a knock on, get a scrum together, set, defend, and get by the ball. If a penalty, shut up, get back, penalty, set for defend. You argue with the referee and argue with the teammate. Nah, go change the call we make already. It now go change it, So why? And the thing is, when some of them wanna go on international games, them not do it. So why do it out here? Just shut up and play the game. No amount of cussing now go change the call.
Yeah, well, here's my thing though, right? I assume when I saw them getting, beating left, right, and center from the season started, I assumed it was like the teenagers from Kingston Knights that were playing all the matches, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only to see Kemarine, who has resorted back to his base instincts of never passing the ball because now he's playing fullback for them. Rochi doesn't even trust his players anymore to even give them any of these carries. He wants to carry the ball himself. Andrew Hilton has resorted to his base instincts of cursing every single call that is made. Chief Campbell, he played fullback. All of a sudden now he's headless chicken running again. So it's like they've gone back to where they were in their debut season.
Yep.
I mean, this is the same team in a semi-final.
Really disappointing to see. Really disappointing. Based on the performance from last season.
brother, it's the same highness team we look upon that outplayed JDF.
Yep.
And that is not something easy for teams outside of Sharks and maybe Bulls at the time to do. JDF is hard to beat. Okay? JDF is very difficult to beat, especially on their home turf.
Yep.
And Hyenas did that with relative ease. So to see them now struggling to even score points, to even finish a tackle 5 set, the man them don't even know what a brother. If you ask these players what do they do on a tackle 5 set, I guarantee you they are going to be there like, what is that? It's ridiculous, bro.
They have regressed from last season. They have regressed, and it's very disappointing to see because I was actually looking forward to see them playing and improving on what they did last season. So it really disappointing. But all we can do is hope that the 26-25 season they improve again, probably get a few more players and get back to where they were. That's all we can hope for.
Yep.
Listen, I
And oh, sorry, I said there. Sorry, my apologies.
was saying, when I was at Portmore and we played against them, they had one of their A games, similar to the wins, to how they would play when they got to the semifinals and so forth. I remember we played against them and we lost. They had one of their A games. In the last 15 minutes, it seems like we at Portmore were making a comeback. Because they started to mess around because they got, we're getting overconfident because they were piling up the score on us. We were actually making a comeback. And at the end of the match, they were both celebrating and arguing. I came over there and was like, yo, I'm going to talk to you guys as a coach. And I don't remember which other coach was there. But like, as a coach, as a senior player, I need to talk to you. And they thought that I was like going to point to people like Theodore and the other forwards or the young players. Like, no. I went to the senior players, the Ryans, the Roaches, well, maybe not Roaches that much. Camarine, those guys. And I'm like, yo, the lack of leadership is going to be a downfall. You guys had a decent game today, but you were just playing based on what's the term I always use? Chemistry.
Vibes.
Yeah, vibes. You were playing based off vibes. I mean, don't get me wrong, it worked today. But Dragons on a good day, it's not going to work against them. Bulls on a regular day, it's not going to work against them. Sharks on any day, it probably won't work against them. Sharks would have to have a bad day for it to work against them. And like the little mistakes are on several occasions. I can't forget one of the playmakers' names. I can't remember one of the playmakers' names. He does not communicate, or he doesn't communicate consistently. And one main example, he was messing around with the ball, and Theodore thought that he was signaling him to make an inline run. So Theodore made the run. They collided. Me and the other defender were able to tackle them and bring them to ground. I pointed out that specific instance, and I was like, yo, that was not Theodore's fault. That was your fault. You got the ball and you had ample time. You said nothing to Theodore. You said nothing to the runners. You said nothing to the supporters. You gave no clear signal. You were just messing around. And when you collided, you were yelling at Theodore as if he was at fault. Like, no, that's nonsense, Bridget. And as a senior player, as a playmaker, as someone who has been playing for years, like, you need to cut out the bullshit. Excuse my language.
Yeah, but the thing isn't.
And the lack of accountability because you're wrong, and as a senior player, you didn't even realize that, hey, I messed up.
The thing is for me, Dario, is like they are already aware of these things. They just don't care because look no further than the first time they ever beat Sharks, right? That match, they outplayed Sharks in everything. Tackling,
Mhm.
carries, who wanted it more, right? And I won't lie, I took some personal joy in memeing out that hands off that Cameron gave to my good friend Sweetland. You know, we're still friends. But I commended me and Rajiv and Lone spoke about this at Linda. Say, yo, this is what Hyenas needs to be. They need to be hungry. They need to play like Raiders, play like Hogs, make them feel your presence in the match. And that season they still fell short. I think they finished third
He,
that season.
Mhm.
yeah, I think it was third.
But they beat Sharks. You would have thought, hey, all right, so we're going to build from this. Yes, Ricky, Ricardo Richards, he's overseas doing good
Yeah.
things, playing for Delaware, right?
Yep.
But it's like they have regressed so much to the point where a Dragons team that is short on confidence, and I'm going to say this, and I don't even care if he's upset. Adrian Hall, you ran from the match last week just to come back this week to play well, and I don't care who wants to come at me. Come and defend it. Because the fact of the matter is, this man has the nerve to say that Shaki Pala tackle, it was an illegal tackle. It was an illegal tackle. Bro, you got washed. You got washed and you were embarrassed and your pride was hurt. We've all been there.
Yeah.
Ran from match last week. Dragons lost again. And poor Hyenas who can't even complete a set properly now. Yes, celebrate. Oh, the Dragons is blazing. I'm not taking away from Dragons because they had to win the match to stay in the hunt. But it's just so amusing to me when I'm analyzing it. When you really get down to the nitty gritty of it, Dragons can put 40 on Hyenas. Where is the same energy when they are playing JDF? You ever notice how Dragons starts their seasons? Be first team, lose the second match badly, play Sharks, lose badly. Adrian runs up the next match, he returns and then win. Every season.
It's a routine. It's a routine.
I guess they're consistent.
And consistently bad, yes. But thing for me is that Dragons is such a hot and cold team. It's not even funny sometimes. This is a team that should be matching energy with Sharks, and for some reason they just can't. And they have such good players. Pearson.
I was just
Donovan
about
when
to
him
call
decides
him
he wants
name.
to, Donovan when he wants to take off the stress. Kitson brother. They have good players. And for some reason, it's like the minute they concede the first try, think of it like GC. The first try is conceded, the floodgates open. Everybody decides, oh, we can't defend. I don't want to defend. Hail Mary pass here, Mary pass there. And it's just upsetting to watch sometimes.
Well, I have to give Pearson his props because trust me, that man, a hell of a player. A hell of a player. Trust me. I have to give him his props for that.
Not lie, if I had any shares in pain and stress relievers, boy, you used to get them every weekend from Mr. David Adrian on a day-to-day basis. Not no lie.
And on that note, hey, listen to me. I don't want nobody come try them off my head, pause. Why? Anyways.
Hey, as your co-host, as I said, anybody have a problem with it, like all them running them inbox at our foolishness, come and defend it. Because I speak nothing but facts and only facts.
Calculation business in a full fight. So.
Also, before we leave, can the teams, all of them, unnecessary bunch of sin bins? It's very displeasing to see. Please. It's very displeasing.
Discipline.
There's no
Discipline.
way. There's no way a team should have almost 4 to 5 players sin bin in one match. That's absolutely ridiculous. Cut it out.
Discipline.
Like what?
Discipline. I'm not gonna stop saying discipline.
The Thundercats match alone had 2 sin bins. Dragons had about 6 or 5, if I remember correctly.
Hyenas have more
All of them the same thing.
discipline.
Descent. Professional folk. Descent. It's ridiculous, bro.
Ridiculous, very ridiculous. But gents, the next July 26th, the second half of the season is going to start. So we'll have more.
The first fixture that we had is JDF versus Thundercats up at Up Park Camp. You know,
Yeah,
JDF Warriors will want to be trying to get their revenge for that first round.
that should be a good game.
Thundercats. I won't lie. If y'all do what I think y'all do, we are ready for a field day. I believe next episode we need to speak about Mr. Romario Hull, Mr. Brandon Gardner, and Mr. Brandon Bart, because there's something about the fear of them that they have in spades that we've seen time and time again, and it's repeating the very process that we've seen with players such as Monkey Man and Sub-Zero. But you know, that's for next week's episode.
Yep. Oh, and that note, 2 females games should be playing in a BB Coke, JDF, Sharks, and Bulls should be playing on the 9th. Yeah, the 9th? Is it the 9th? Oh no, sorry, it's the 12th. Yeah, the 12th. So that's something to look forward to as well. So
yes, hope the BB Coke girls short. You know, it's always good to see BB Coke team.
Always fun to watch them
players.
play. Always fun to watch them play.
You call it a team? It was an army last time I checked.
Yeah, bro, let me tell you something. It's a BB Coke. I shout out my respect to BB Coke and what my about Kemar? Yes, shout out Kemar for the program. You know, it's not easy with so much against you in terms of players having to focus and they study so much and still producing
top
what
quality
you
players and a top notch program. Yep.
And I don't know what is in the water supply at St. Elizabeth, but we need it. We need it up here because I want to know why so much players so fast. Brother, it needs to be studied. It needs to be studied, my youth.
Facts.
You're right. Sharks will enter the games as favorites, but you know, something is brewing at JDF. I don't know what it is, but something from the JDF movement. I heard a little chatter during the match. Like they might plan something. So something in the works then. Something is in the works.
Let's see. Alright, gents. We have come to the end of another episode. Dario, really good to see you tonight.
Yes. Yeah, sorry I was late. But before we go, I know I really should cut this out and mature and grow up and all that, but I just want to say I blame Cherry Evans for the reason why Portmore is no longer in NCC. And back to you.
Listen, on that note, we have come to the end of this episode.
Oh, that's good. Well, you know, and on that note, you know, since as we're going back out, you know, I have to bring it back. Remember to tip your local Ubberman today. Unfortunately, when I tipped my NRL team, decided they were going to lose. So, you know, go down and worry about myself all the time. I think going forward, gents, one of these episodes we should dedicate to our fallen brother, Al Pacino, Big Nut, for us speak on the impact he left us, how he was seen by players, and just generally just give people the honor he deserves. Because I don't think many of us have fully grasped the fact that Alpha is no. I haven't.
That is true.
So
true.
You know, lots of amazing things in store for us, guys. And I know some union people are going to be out there and say, oh, all of a sudden, no, start promote union. I'm like, well, we had to mature at some point, and truth be told, it's not the same set of players that we're talking about, so that's good.
We will
Shout out
never fighting
Veronica
against
Blair
Union,
again.
though.
Yeah, but
People
don't
will
tell
talk,
them that.
but
Anyways,
anyways.
anyway, shout out Veronica Blair, shout out the Union team, the under 19 boys who we hope takes home the crown this time, you know.
Big shout out
And
to
just
the
thank you all.
the Jamaica U16 UK team, females, won the
Yeah, the late
Osaka
Crocs.
Sevens champions the other day. So congrats on that, guys.
Thank you guys for the love and all the support. Every like helps, and say it quietly, we may or may not have some form of collaboration coming up, but we'll tell you guys about that at another time. Anyways, thank you
Alright,
guys for tonight's episode. Hope all of you stay safe throughout the work week. Drink your water, tip your local Oberman, and please avoid the guzzle if you can. Back out.
Alright, guys. Remember to like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next episode
Next time.
of Ruggers Corner.
Bye-bye.